Hi, everybody, and welcome back. It feels like it's been forever since I last spoke to you, but welcome back to the Coffees and Content podcast. We are officially in what I'm calling a brand new era. I'm not calling it a season anymore. I'm not calling it a blip in time. This is a whole new era, and I'm so excited for you guys to join me. I am back. I have taken quite a bit of time away. As you've probably noticed, we have been off the air for, what is it coming up now? Like almost 4 months. And it was very strategic and very intentional. And today's podcast episode is going to be all about why that has happened, what has happened behind the scenes, what's been going on. I'm going to catch you up on everything to do with the social collective, with Coffees and Content, with some new exciting things that are happening. And I'm really happy to be back. So thank you for welcoming me back in your ears. Thank you to those of you who have continued to listen to the Coffees and Content podcast while we have been on hiatus. I know that there's been quite a lot of you that are brand new listeners. I've been getting messages on a almost daily basis saying how excited you are to have discovered the podcast, or you have used it for resources. You've gone back and listened to episodes like our Content Pillars episode or any of our strategy episodes to really double down on how you can do the best marketing that you can possibly do. So I love hearing that. And anytime you guys want to share what episodes you're listening to or tuning into, you are always, of course, welcome to share those with me. But for today, we are going to dive into basically where I've been for the last few months, what I've been working on, and what you can expect coming up from the Coffees and Content podcast in 2026. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. So first things first, I feel like I need to address where I've been. I have still been here. I have still been running the social collective. I have still been showing up online, but I've just been doing things slightly differently. And I took some time over the summer break to, for those of you who have followed my journey on particularly LinkedIn and also Instagram, you will have seen that I took some time off. I went overseas, which was wonderful. We went to Malaysia, Thailand, and Singapore, and that was a once in a lifetime experience that I will probably never have again and am incredibly, incredibly grateful for. And I decided to disconnect. For the first time since owning my business, which is the first time in 6 years of being out on my own, I decided to leave my laptop in New Zealand. I decided not to take it with me. And I enjoyed being in the real world. And I would encourage any business owner or any founder who has been really pushing through these last few years, especially the last couple of years in business. It's been tough. I would really encourage you to find some time where you too can disconnect and take some time away from being online, take some time away from being so socially connected or parasocially connected, and really go and enjoy just being present in the real world. And I feel like I've come back so much more refreshed, so much more excited, ready to go. I feel like it's just the break that I needed. And so I really encourage you to think about if you can squeeze one of those in at some point this year. Because I think one of the things that's come out of really taking some time for myself and taking some space, some much, much needed space, is being able to create that clarity that I needed. I got to the end of last year, and for those of you who are listening to the episodes at the tail end of 2025, you'll know that I hired some incredible in-house staff members. So now we have both remote and we also have in-house staff members at the Social Collective, which is absolutely incredible. But it has also meant that there's been some big shifts. We have been shifting the Social Collective's digital presence to being more of the team focused, still obviously including myself, but having a lot more of a team focus. And then there's this interesting little nook of the world that I have also had, which has been my Substack. And one of the things that I really want to do this year is put more effort and emphasis into having a Substack, because I think it is the new, I guess, what used to be like Bebo, MySpace, I want to say Tumblr, but probably not so much. It's a really amazing platform that is very much taking off. And I think it's really bringing back long form content, which I love. And I think it's an amazing way to be able to connect with people who want to not just listen, but read what I have to share about my business journey, about running a team, about being in the marketing space, all of the things. And I couldn't quite figure out at the tail end of last year how TSC, Coffees and Content, and the Substack all kind of fell into one. And I guess I should also say my Substack is very heavily attached to my personal LinkedIn. So there's a lot of different moving pieces that are going on. And because I was so busy being in the thick of getting client work done and making sure that we were still putting out proposals and meeting deliverables for everybody and running different events, going to different speaking gigs, I really had no time to sit and just go, what does the vision for 2026 look like? What does the strategy for 2026 look like? And it wasn't until I was able to properly disconnect and take some time to honestly not think about business at all, which as a founder, if you are one, or if you hold a lot of responsibility in business, you'll know that it's very rare that we get a moment to switch off. And so I took some time to not think about business at all. And from that complete disconnection, so much clarity came through, so much new understanding of where I wanted to be and what I wanted to position the business as and how I wanted to position it. And through that, we've had some big breakthroughs, which has been really exciting. So with the Social Collective, what a lot of that looks like is we have niched down into, which is the first time in the history of ever that I have niched down in what we're doing. But we have really niched down into supporting service-driven businesses, so service-based business owners who are really keen to generate leads. And when I say leads, I don't just mean leads that eventually sit in your lap and someone says to you, oh, I really hope that you have a great sales team and they're going to convert the leads. No, we work behind the scenes with our clients to make sure that we're not only generating leads, but we are generating leads that will generate revenue. And that for me has been a huge thing. And I'm going to talk about more of this in a future episode around why lead generation and understanding your leads is so important for revenue generation. But I really saw a massive gap with marketing agencies. A lot of them support e-com brands naturally because e-com is really easy to grow and scale. Service is a lot more nuanced and a lot more technical. And I think there's such a space for us there, especially because that is the bread and butter of what we do. We generate leads for ourselves to be able to actually continue to run this business. And I want to speak more about that on the podcast too. And so Coffees and Content is now morphing into a space where this is going to continue to be the platform that I talk about all things marketing. So how you can grow and scale your business, how you can utilize your own personal platforms on different channels to be pushing your business, how you can ultimately grow and scale in a really sustainable way with your own business. So that is what this space is going to be. And then my LinkedIn and my Substack are now what we have named In Her Empire Era, because my team and I threw that name around so much. We're like, oh, we're building an empire. We're building an empire. 2026 is all about building an empire. And it just kind of stuck. And so what we've decided to do is rename the Substack. So Coffees and Content now literally exists in this podcast format. And then we have our Facebook group that is also there and our LinkedIn page. But my Substack and my personal LinkedIn page is really focused around In Her Empire Era and how we are going to be growing and scaling businesses. So not just sharing the marketing side of things, sharing more of the behind the scenes of the business, sharing more about what it means to run a team, what it means to be growing and scaling things, what kind of things I'm doing offline as well, because I'm currently recording this episode from a wonderful meeting room in a co-working space in Brisbane, because I am here sponsoring a conference for the next couple of days. And again, more is going to come on that very, very soon. But with this, taking that step back, taking the time, just giving myself a moment to breathe, it really allowed me the space to come forward into 2026 with a lot more clarity. But I also didn't rush into that space. And I think that's something really important to note, is the importance of being able to slowly implement things and not feel like you're rushed. We are not running out of time. We have so much time in the world. And the main priority when I came back this year was to work with my team, streamline all of our systems in-house, make sure that we have a really, really great marketing foundation so that when we do continue to scale the business, because the business has been scaling year on year, we know that we are ready for another big growth period. And that is exactly what is starting to happen for TSC, which is so exciting. But again, I don't think a lot of that really would have happened if I hadn't have had the opportunity to step back. So I'm incredibly grateful that my team and I got everything to a point where I could step back. But also, I have to give myself props here, and I want you guys to do the same, is if you can give yourself that time and that space to really just completely disconnect from your business, even if it is just for a day, allow yourself to do that so that you can come back with that clearer, fresher perspective. So like I said, what to expect from this podcast moving forward is just a lot more practical marketing stuff. I have received a lot of feedback from you, both in person and parasocially, talking about how much you love the tips, the tricks, the insights, the little tidbits that I can share with you all. So stay tuned over the coming weeks because so much more of that is yet to come. But that's all I really wanted to say in this episode, is just jumping back in, saying hello, showing my face, because it has been such a long time and I have missed talking to every single one of you. But I wanted to say a massive thank you for sticking around, staying here while I took my little hiatus. But I also want to prepare you because big things are coming in 2026. So in the show notes of this episode, I am going to link my Substack. If you want to head over there, you can basically find me at laurentomlinson.substack.com. Go over there if you want to stay tuned with all of the things in her empire era. And every week, Coffees and Content will be back in your ears. And of course, if you need marketing help, content creation, outsourcing, strategy, all of the things, go hit up the team and I at TSC. Anyways, that is everything for today. I will see you guys in a week's time for more marketing goodness. Bye.